So how are we going to deal with the complex? We have to find a way of managing our society. My hypothesis is that the combined intelligence of the humanity is insufficient by a long way. Our only hope is the combined intelligence of our machines. So let's just have a look at social networks. This is how they grow. If you've got a fixed population of, say, 100 million people, there will be a limited number of people that you really want to talk to. This is different to the internet, where you can talk to everybody, or the phone network, where you can potentially talk to everybody. This is a network of selected people that you select because of their capabilities, their knowledge, their connectedness, and their usefulness to you or your company. But it doesn't exactly grow like this. If the network itself is growing, then it tends to come up like this. So I've got a little graph for you here, which is my LinkedIn growth over the past few years. So with just 1,600 people as my primary contacts, in just 2 hops, I've got 8 million hand-picked people that I can communicate with. This is one of the most powerful ways of running a business, being a scientist, engineer, and engaging in a society that I have ever seen. We have never had anything like this before. It is extremely profound. So this gives you the numbers, my connections: 1,600, 240,000, 8 million. That's quite impressive. LinkedIn, SETI at home, folding at home. If you're a small company, you can't afford a supercomputer. But what you can do is rent a lot of capacity on a lot of other computers across the planet when they're not being used. The computing power available to me now is almost infinite. I can outgun governments with the computing power at my disposal, because the governments won't join in this sort of thing. They have to build these mighty Wurlitzers. Kind of powerful. So let's just have a look at the future. Humans, we've topped out. We're not going to get any brighter. The machines are, and so are the robots specifically. So let's have a look. In 2006, the internet was about the same size as one human brain. By 2012, it was 1,000 times bigger, and every 6 years, it's getting 1,000 times bigger. So if my assessment of how the human brain equals the internet is wrong by 1,000, hey, let's just hang around for 6 years, and I will be right. Okay? And the reality is we have no surefire way of knowing. So here's the recent awakening. Linear things are insignificant. The non-linear is what we should be looking at, and everything is fundamentally chaotic. Life systems, creativity, behaviors, problem solving. If you are not operating with a heart that is an ace away from fibrillation, you're going to die. That's a chaotic system. You're right on the edge. So human knowledge and ability is down towards the left, the linear, whilst machine abilities and knowledge is over on the right. Just hang on to that. Why isn't my laptop really smart? The answer is it's got no sensors and it's got no adaptability. I am the input mechanism. The hardware is locked down, the software is locked down. But we are currently rolling out sensors all over the place. Go into the Strand and just look at the number of cameras. Have a look at the number of smartphones with accelerometers, cameras, and what else. We're going to have a range of machines that are fixed and mobile, feeding information into the internet. I'm going to give you a prediction. If we do nothing, the internet will very shortly become sentient. It will become a thinking machine. The only question is, will we be smart enough to spot that it's a thinking machine? My guess is perhaps not. Because our limited vision of what life is and what intelligence is limits the way we think. We haven't seen anything other than carbon life. So we're on the right here. Our sensors allow us to collect data, we process it, we get information, we use our intelligence to create knowledge, and our experience gives us wisdom. Our machines have sensors, they have processing, some limited intelligence, but very little experience. But they are climbing up this triangle. We already have a lot of data collected. They have more data than we do. They have more information than we do. And now they're starting to extract the knowledge. sometimes we seem to be in reverse gear. I always find it curious that the supposedly most technologically advanced society on the planet is the least educated and intent on going backwards. What can machines design right now? This planetary walker has not seen the hand of man or woman. It is an evolved design. It did not come out of the brain of a human. It came out of a machine. Many of you are wearing mobile phones, you're carrying laptops, and you have devices where the integrated circuits were not designed by human beings, they were designed by machine, or at least partly designed by machine. The machines now design the machines. What else can they do? Can they actually be inventive? Here are a list of inventions by human beings out of Scientific American from the year 1917 to 2001, and every single one has now been eclipsed by machine invention. This is not a fairy tale, this is the real McCoy. These suckers are catching us up and overtaking us. A lot of electronic circuits that we thought we understood are now being designed by computers. We do not understand them, and they perform better than anything any human ever created. And the reason we can't understand them is we don't have the mathematics that allows us to deal with nonlinear differential equations that are of an order of 1,000 or order of 100. We can only do things like order 3 or 4, possibly 5. End of battle, I think. So I now look at the future and say we understand quite a lot about the sociology of human beings, but what interests me is the sociology of the machines. Why are they all in the room right now? What are they talking to each other about? And what are they thinking are the kind of questions I ask. Here is an apocryphal number. Genetically, this little guy has the same makeup as us to the point of 99.4% human. If 0.6% matters so much, no wonder our IT systems are so dumb. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed.